Hello everyone, good day. Welcome to my next video discussion. For this time, let's talk about how to determine the value of x, especially an equation in one variable. Let's begin with a linear equation in one variable. Okay, so here we go. For you to be able to solve this equation easily, make sure that you have your foundation in addition of algebraic expression, multiplication of algebraic expression perhaps, and of course, the basic factoring of quadratic expression. Okay, so let's begin. Try to follow. Okay, supposedly, in your mathematics class, you are asked to determine the value of x. Okay, so this time, I will be presenting two different equations. First, let's begin with the linear equation. So we have here. So determine the value of x. For example, you have 2x minus 3 equals 5x minus 4. So do not be confused. So for you to be able to do this one, to solve for the value of x, first thing you are going to do is you are going to collect, or sometimes we call this one as group similar terms. So when we say similar terms, you are going to group all the constant terms, and of course, you are going to group also or to collect all the terms that has variable with the same exponent. Okay, let's continue. So you can bring down 2x. You are going to group or collect together 2x and 5x since they have the same variable, and as well as their exponents are also the same. So you have here 5x. Since 5x here is from the right side, the moment that you are going to transpose this one to the other side, to the left side, the sign here will change. So from here, this is positive. So when you transpose 5x to the left side, to the other side, it will become minus or negative. And then bring down negative 4, or minus becomes negative since you transpose 5x. And then from this side, you transpose minus 3 or negative 3. Okay, so placing this negative 3 or minus 3 into the right side or to the right side, so it will become plus 3. Since the term transpose, the sign will be affected. So from minus or negative, it will become plus or positive when it is already in the right side. Okay, let's continue. So since they are now the same, you may apply how to subtract integers. So just bring down x, and then 2 minus 5, so it's just like this one, 2 minus 5. So this will be negative 3. Because we are going to change the sign, the operation here from minus to plus, and then change the sign to subtrahend. The original is positive, so it will become negative. So, and then after that, it will become 2 plus negative 5. So perform the addition of integers. And it will be negative 3. And then equals negative 4 plus 3, that is equal to negative 1. So you have now negative 3. When you combine 2x minus 5x, the result is negative 3x. And then when you add negative 4 and 3, the result is negative 1. So for you to solve for x, perhaps you may go this way. Negative 3x. Use negative 3 here, or you are going to eliminate negative 3. And how you are going to do that? Just use this negative 3 as your divisor also. Whatever is the coefficient of x, use that one as the divisor if you are going to solve for the value of x. Because the purpose here is at the end there's only x at the end without containing negative integers. So this will be negative 1, bring down negative 1, and then divided by negative 3 also. Then after that, you may cancel negative 3, and then this will be x. Division of the same sign is positive, and since you cannot simplify 1 over 3 or 1 divided by 3, then just copy 1/3. So therefore, as you can see, when you are going to solve the equation 2x minus 3 equals 5x minus 4, the value of x is equal to 1 over 3. So this is how you are going to solve linear equation in one variable. I hope this one is very easy, or I hope you can find this discussion easy for you to understand. Okay, let's proceed to the next example. So for the second example, you need to recall the idea of factoring. Or perhaps, if the expression is not factorable, try to recall the other way, the other possible way, so that you can solve for the value of x, especially if the equation is already quadratic. So when we say quadratic, that means one of the variables or the variable contains 2 as exponent. Okay, so supposedly for this sign, we have here 5x plus 3 plus 2x squared minus 9 equals 4x minus 3. And the purpose here is for you to solve for the value of x. So again, same here. You are going to collect or group the similar terms. When we say similar terms, if the expression has variable, situate that their variables are the same. At the same time, their exponents are also the same. Okay, so for this time, we are going to arrange the exponent. Since here the exponent, so you have here 5x, that means the exponent is 1. This is what we call linear term. And then the second x contains 2 as exponent, so this is what we call the quadratic term. And this one is also what we call 4x or the linear term, since the exponent here is automatic as positive 1. Let's proceed. So whichever is the highest exponent, or whichever has the highest exponent, you are going to place that one as the first in descending order. So plus 2x squared, so when you write that one first, it will become positive 2x squared. So this time, since 2x squared is the first expression when you are going to collect or arrange the given terms in an equation, so the plus sign here will automatically be removed. So considering it as positive. And then perhaps you may continue with 5x. Since this one is on the same side, positive automatic, it will become plus. Okay, so let's continue. Next here is you are going to transpose 4x from this side to the other side. So this will be 4x, and then since 4x is coming from the other side, it will become minus or negative. So since from this side, 4x is positive. After collecting all variables and placing them here on the same side of the equation, you may proceed by collecting the constant terms. So you may bring down negative 3. Okay, then perhaps you may also transpose plus 3. So it will become minus 3. So since when we say transpose to the other side, the sign will always change. And then you transpose minus 9. So from this side, transposing this one to the other side, so minus will become plus 9. So since there's no way, let's continue. Since there is no other variable here that has 2 as exponent, you just bring down 2x squared. Then after that, combine 5x and 4x, since aside from having the same variable, their exponents are also the same as positive 1. So they're considered similar terms. Okay, so by combining, so we just bring down x, and it is just like 5 minus 4. So it will become 1, and this will be plus, since 5 is bigger than 4. So if the numerical coefficient of variable is only positive 1 or is only 1, just remove 1. And then, let's continue. You may combine this negative 3 minus 3, and then that will give you a negative 6. And then bring down, that's 9. Okay, so let's continue. So you have here 2x squared plus x equals, so negative 6 plus 9, so addition of unlike sign, it will become positive 3. That is why when you solve the equation, make sure that you have a strong foundation of your lower grades mathematics, like integers, addition, subtraction, and multiplication of integers. Let's proceed. So, when you solve for the value of x here, perhaps this is now what we call the quadratic equation, and then you may transpose 3 to the other side. That will be 2x squared plus x, and then since it is positive here, so it will become minus, and then equal to 0. So this is now what we call the quadratic equation. The purpose of transposing here is for you to solve easily. And then, the easiest way, or perhaps one of the fastest way to solve for the value of x if it is quadratic equation is by factoring method. So simply, when we say factoring, if it is trinomial, basically you have two factors, and that is all binomial, and then equal to 0. Simply just follow this technique. If the numerical coefficient of quadratic term is not factorable, simply place that one here, or simply place that one here. It's up to you. Automatically. And then, if the variable, since the variable is quadratic, you may also break x squared, and then it will become 2x, and this one is x. So when you multiply 2x and x, it will give you back 2x squared. So again, since 2 is not factorable, you just copy directly positive 2 here. And then bring down negative 3. As much as possible, try to get all possible factors of negative 3. So you may have here, factors of negative 3 are negative 3 and 1, positive 1. Or perhaps you may also have this positive 3 and negative 1. And then try to substitute all these factors as the second term of your factor. Here, this is what we call a trial and error factoring, when the quadratic term contains coefficient which is not a perfect square. So here, if it is negative, supposedly you are going to try it first, negative 3 and positive 1. If you are going to use negative 3, that means automatic it is minus here. And then place 1 here. If it is positive, automatic it is plus here. So this is what we call a trial and error factoring. And how are you going to check if this is the required one? Just simply, for this one, this is 2x minus 3, and then you have here x plus 1. Try to get this, the middle term, the value of the middle term, which is what we call the positive x. Okay, so how are you going to do that? Just multiply this one here, and this will be negative 3x. And try to multiply also this one. This is for you to determine the middle term. Okay, so 2x times 1, you have here 2x. And then the result is add. And bring down x. And then you have here negative 1. Or simply negative x. So since the middle term is plus x or positive x, this is not the required one. These factors are not the required factors because it will give you a negative x, which is not the same in the middle term. Okay, so try another one. Perhaps you may try the second factors. So you may try 2x or 2x. Okay, so positive 3, so it will become plus here. And then times here. X is 1. X, and then try another 1, which is, the second factor is negative 1. And then try to multiply the same process here. So you have here 3 times x, you have 3x. Next you have 2x times negative 1, you have here negative 2x. Then after that, add or combine by addition. So bring down x. Just simply add the integers or the numerical coefficients. You have here 3 or positive 3 plus negative 2. You have here positive 1 or simply positive x. So which is the same here, positive x. So you have now your idea, the exact factors that you need for you to solve for the value of x. Okay, so let's continue here. So therefore, you are going to replace this one. So this will become plus, and then this will become minus. So 2x plus 3 and x minus 1 are the required factors for you to solve for the value of x. Let's continue. So since you have two factors here, therefore, you have two different values of x. First, you have here 2x plus 3, this one, and then equal that to 0. And then you have here another factor, x minus 1 equals 0. So you have 2x, solve for x now. Transpose plus 3 to the other side, it will become 0 minus 3. So from this side, positive or plus, it will become minus when you are going to transpose plus 3 to the other side. So you have 2x equals 0 minus negative 3 or 0 minus 3. This will be negative 3. Then you have use now positive 2 as your divisor. So you have 2x over 2. The purpose again is to eliminate the numerical coefficient of x because the purpose is to solve for the value of x. So you have here negative 3 also divided by 2. So cancel 2. So your value is equal to negative 3 over 2. So this is your first value of x, which is equal to negative 3 over 2. And then proceed by solving the second value of x. So you have here x equals transpose minus 1 to the other side, it will become 0 plus 1. From minus or positive, it will become plus. From minus or negative, it will become plus when you transpose it to the other side. Continue. So you have here x, 0 plus 1 or 0 plus positive 1, it will become 1. So therefore, the second value of x is positive 1. So this is now the flow on how are you going to solve for the value of x, especially if the equation is quadratic. So to sum it up, you have, when you solve for the value of x of the given equation, 5x plus 3 plus 2x squared minus 9 and plus 4x minus 3, the value of x are negative 3 over 2 and the other one is positive 1. So I hope this discussion will help you to understand, especially if you have your assignments, if you are a student, or simply if you are just going to enhance or recall what you learned when you were in school. So thank you so much, and feel free to ask me if you have questions.